Hello, I'm Kate Stichin on InstaForex TV with the fresh Forex news. In March, the foreign trade of Eurozone showed the surplus, since the export and import increased significantly. The data of the European Union statistical agency Eurostat, published on Tuesday, testify about this. According to provided data, the total foreign trade surplus of goods and services of 16 Eurozone countries stood at 4.5 billion euros in March. The positive trade balance stood at 2.4 billion euros in February. Moreover, the data was revised downwards. Primarily, it was announced that the surplus was at the level of $2.6 billion in February. In March, the positive balance was lower than the economists expected. According to the forecast, the export should exceed the import by 5 billion euros. The data show that the trade flows of Eurozone countries increased considerably compared to the beginning of 2009, when they decreased in response to the intensification of the financial crisis and worsening of the world's recession. In March, the export grew by 22% compared to the same period of the previous year and stood at 134.9 billion euros. The import advanced by 20% and amounted to 130.3 billion euros. The seasonally adjusted export upturned sharply in March in comparison with the previous months. This probably reflects the influence of the weakening euro and growth of the world's demand. Nonetheless, the import also increased at the expense of advanced energy source purchase. Compared to the previous months, the import upticked by 10.3% and turned out to be higher than the export, which upturned by 7.5%. This is why the surplus of Eurozone foreign trade was insignificant. The most part of Eurozone foreign trade balance was still foreign and Germany. During the first 2 months of this year, the German export exceeded its import by 20.6 billion euros, whereas for the same period of 2009, the exceed stood at 15.8 billion euros. Nevertheless, the number of Eurozone countries was continuing to show the considerable deficit of foreign trade, which led to the growth of borrowings amid the advancing fears of investors concerning their ability to pay large debts. The foreign trade deficit of Spain for the first 2 months of the year amounted to 8 billion euros compared to 10.1 billion euros for the same period of 2009. The Greek deficit was 4.3 billion euros and the deficit of Portugal 2.8 billion euros. Ireland showed the foreign trade surplus in the amount of 6.2 billion euros in comparison with 5.9 billion euros for the same period of the previous year. It was Forex News provided to you by InstaForex News team. Goodbye.